So I'm sure as all of you already know, Sean P. Diddler Combs was arrested and he's sitting in the Metropolitan Detention Center right now on charges that are bad. But did you know that Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing Brian Thompson, the CEO from United Healthcare, is sitting in the same exact federal holding facility right now? Now, even though these two are in the same facility, they're not in the same unit. Let me explain how that works to all of you who've never been locked up. And by the way, good for you. We're not supposed to go to jail, but jails will have a bunch of different units that they use to segregate and isolate inmates from each other. And Luigi, he's not on bad charges. He's actually on charges that aren't going to get him messed up by any of the other inmates, while Diddy, being in there on pee-pee toucher charges, he has to be put in some sort of PC, protective custody, segregation from the other inmates who harm people, who do bad stuff to kids. And even though they're not in the same cell or even the same area in there, Diddy is throwing hissy fits over Luigi, and I'm gonna explain to y'all why. So pop a Viagra, slam your favorite energy drink, and put on your tightest white skinny jeans, because we're about to go in. Are y'all ready? Let's go! Guys, so you know that in my past life, I was convicted of doing organized fraud. I've also been a victim of identity theft since I turned my life around, and it can be devastating. We see so many huge data breaches every month from companies that we've trusted with our information. It can be hard to know what to do to keep yourself and your identity safe. That's why I've taken on a sponsorship with Aura. Aura's identity theft protection monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across millions of data points, including dark web and public records, to alert you of potential identity theft. And just in case you do take losses, Aura gives every adult on the account, up to 5 per account, $1 million in identity theft insurance to help cover eligible losses and fees. They also have data broker opt-out, financial fraud protection, VPN, antivirus, password manager, certified data and security privacy, and 24/7 US-based support. I get all of this in one app at an affordable price. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches and brokers, and if you don't want to either, you can go to my link and try it for 2 weeks for free. That'll be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. Hey everybody, so I'm really excited about this video because y'all know that I be liking some true crime, and these are the two biggest cases of 2024 that are bleeding directly into our 2025, and they've just touched tips. They are connected now because both of these people are at the Metropolitan Detention Center. And as somebody with a little bit of experience as to what goes on behind bars, I think that I can probably explain to you what's going on here better than most. Now, the first thing that I need y'all to understand is a little bit about how the hierarchy of incarcerative situations works when it comes to different types of inmates, because there is definitely a food chain while you're inside, man. And the people that are at the absolute top, yeah, those are going to be way differently treated than the people who are at the absolute bottom. And we all know who's at the bottom. It's the goddamn chomos. And even though Diddy hasn't been charged with anything that specifically has any child victims in a criminal case yet, he has a whole handful of lawsuits that all have to do with people that were minors at the time of the alleged assault. And even if that wasn't the case, when it comes to these types of charges, it doesn't really mean that much of a difference if it was a child or an adult. It's not like somebody with the hard R charge is going to be treated a whole lot more respectfully than a full-fledged certified child toucher. So all of that is to say that Diddy's treatment in there is probably not been very good. That's probably why he stays in his cell a lot. That's why he's not eating the food that is provided to him by the actual facility, because he knows that those inmates know what food is going to who, and he's probably terrified they're going to put stuff in it, because little pro tip, we do that. We 100% do that. Whether it be feces or skeet or broken glass, if we can't get to you physically to put hands all across you, or maybe give you a few breathing holes, give you more gills in your throat than Aquaman, we will poison your food, bro. We're not above it. And the Metropolitan Detention Center has put Diddy in a place where he's basically in what's considered PC. Now, PC is protective custody. He's gonna be in there with a bunch of other weak dudes who are down on bad charges, or they're snitches, or they're scared for one reason or another. So he's not really in any superb danger from the inmates that are around him all the time. But even at that, stuff do happen. There's no such thing as a safe space when you're in prison. But Diddy, he's had a couple different meltdowns in there recently. We're gonna call them hissy fits because it just seems more like something that Diddy would have. Diddy's in there having hissy fits. One was on Christmas because he couldn't believe that him being such a celebrity and having millions of dollars, that he would still have to spend Christmas behind bars for his terrible crime. But this latest one just absolutely takes the cakes, in my opinion. Get it? Takes the cakes? Diddy is throwing man tantrums, or as I like to call them, mantrums, because he's gotten reports about how beloved and how popular Luigi Mangione is in there and how well everybody else is treating him, and he thinks that he should be treated that way. That's not how that works, you pee-pee touching weirdo. You see, when you're incarcerated, they don't care how many terrible albums you put out or how much money you have unless they're extorting you for it or that you used to date Jennifer Lopez. None of that matters to them. What they see you as is what you are when you're in there. You are your charges. And what Luigi's down on is considered a good charge. And here's where people get mad at me. But JD, how can it be a good charge if he's down on murder? Well, that's pretty simple to answer. You see, if you're in prison and you're a grown man that killed another grown man, that's just warrior shit, brother. But if you're somebody that killed a woman, a child, somebody that's elderly, somebody that is disabled, or an animal, then you're a punk. They're gonna get you for that, boy. Sure enough. They might even give your butthole a good wallery. Now, is that right or fair or just? I don't know. Men have been killing other men since the first brother picked up a rock and beat his other brother to death with it. 10 points for the Bible reference. And what you need to realize about dudes that are locked up is the majority of them grew up getting abused as kids and watching their mama get beat by some punk-ass lame. And the very first rule of the convict code, by which a lot of us old schoolers lived by, is no women, no children. That also extends to the elderly, the disabled, people who can't defend themselves. Most of them grew up in absolute poverty as well, so a lot of them never had proper health care. They couldn't afford it. Their parents couldn't afford it. A lot of them have loved ones who've died because they couldn't afford proper health care. So when Luigi did this, and took out this rich bastard who, by proxy, has probably killed thousands and thousands of Americans with the policies that he emplaced in United Healthcare, they see a hero walk in their unit. And that is exactly what the reports from the inside about Luigi are coming out to be. He is a celebrity in there. Meanwhile, Diddy, who was a celebrity out here at some point way back in the 90s when MTV was a thing, he is literally treated like trash. And Diddy doesn't think it's very fair. So in true Diddy fashion, he's throwing hissy fits about it. Now the thing of it is that Diddy just needs to get used to it because he's gonna be in there for a very, very, very long time. You do not really beat federal charges in this country when you take them to trial. They have a 98.2% conviction rate. And with the charges that he is definitely eligible for a life sentence in federal prison. And do you know what they don't like in federal prison? A, people that are pee-pee touchers, and B, people who throw hissy fits like giant gaping pussy boys. And that was not an attack on gay people, because there's plenty of gay people in there that do just fine. They just don't act like giant fucking bitches. If Diddy wants to have any real possibility of surviving this whole prison sentence situation, he really needs to man up. Not the way that he was doing at those Diddy parties. I mean, he could probably get away with some of that, but he's got to stop crying like a baby. Don't say baby around Diddy. You're going to trigger him and he's going to start acting all weird like... Now, Luigi, on the other hand, he's going to have nothing but support in there. Hands down, start to finish, guaranteed, they're going to take care of old boy while he's locked up. And recently in the news, it's been announced that he actually hired a prison consultant to teach him how to adapt to that type of an environment. Huge waste of money, my guy. You are going to be the last person who has any problems while you're in prison. By the way, if you want to get your Deny, Defend, Depose merch or your Make Pedophiles Afraid Again merch, we got that at convictclothing.net, along with a bunch of other cool stuff you could go check out, or you don't have to. Either way, it's fine with me. I was just letting you know. So now, I have a question for y'all. How long do y'all think that Diddy is gonna make it once he gets to federal prison? I'm betting on 3 to 9 months tops. Let me know down in the comments, and also don't forget to like and share and all that other shit that YouTube wants me to say. Sheesh. I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you beautiful animals spending some of your time with me today. And as always, till the next one, it's always gonna be one love, baby. Be good or be good at it. Got celled up with a big man. Now his anal cavity is full of 2 hands. Got turned into a puppet. Now their cell stinks. He's washing his butthole in the sink. Yeah, Diddy got celled up with a big man. Now his anal cavity is wide and grand. Got turned into a puppet. Now their cell stinks. He's washing his butthole in the sink. The fuck is wrong with me, y'all?